Hi guys, thank you for logging into Edmodo today and watching this pre-recorded class for Monday, March 8th, 2021. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And just as a quick review, remember that last class we watched this video that I'm showing you here that is on the angle basics, and we took some notes. So if you still haven't taken the notes or if you don't remember, make sure that you have these notes. Okay, you're supposed to have the notes that are from the review section. Okay, so all of these notes that are starting the review, okay, which is like minute 6 around there, and until the end of the video you should have them in your notebook. Okay, now if you don't have them, well, please write it down. And we're going to go off of those notes right now to get started with the class, okay? Today we're going to be working on pages 44 and 45 of your book, which is Angle Basics, or in your book it's called Angle Relationships. And at the top of your book, it tells us that angles are classified according to their measure. We already saw this in the video last class, and I just wanted to review that we have a right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. We have an acute angle, which is less than 90 degrees. Obtuse angles are between 91 degrees and 179 degrees, okay, because they're between the right angle and the straight angle. And the straight angle is pretty much just a straight line that is exactly 180 degrees, okay? Now, in the video, we saw that the angles can be also named, okay, but we didn't really take notes on that. So what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to go ahead and draw out an angle here, and we're going to practice naming the angle. Okay, so in this case, this is going to be my angle here, and there are different forms of naming an angle that we're going to learn here. Remember that this right here, it's called an arc. Okay, this little symbol here, and it's part of a circle, and this is the one that represents an angle. Okay, so let's say that we have these two rays right here. They join at this intersection, and we're going to name this intersection B. Okay, and let me make this lighter. This is going to be intersection B, and we're going to name this point right here and this point right here. Okay, this point here is going to be point A, and this point right here, it's going to be point C. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to name angles. Okay, now there are 4 ways to name an angle. 4 different ways, or 4 different forms, however you want to call it. The first form, okay, is by naming. Remember, we have to use the symbol of the angle, and we're going to write the letters that form the points in order, always keeping the intersection in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to name this angle A, B, C, because I am following the points here that make up the angle. Okay, angle A, B, C with my intersection. This is my point of intersection that always stays in the middle. Okay, The other way that I can name them is backwards. Okay, I can say this is angle CBA. Okay, again, following my points, but now I'm following in a different direction, CBA, and my point of intersection is still in the middle. Okay, another way that we can name them is just by writing the point of intersection. Okay, angle B. And let's say that this angle has a number. We can write a number here, for example, the number 2, and that would be another form of naming it, okay, with the number that the angle has. Okay, so these are the 4 ways of naming an angle. Okay, by writing down the points, always keeping the point of intersection in the middle, by just writing the point of intersection, okay, or by assigning a number. Okay, so assign a number. So these are the 4 ways to name an angle. Now, let's go ahead and move on to something else that it's important for today's topic, and also something that we learned last class. Okay, so in the video from last class, we saw that there are complementary angles and supplementary angles. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw out a right angle. Okay, and I'm going to draw a ray that divides this angle. Okay, now when I divide this right angle, what's going to happen is that I'm going to have now 2 angles that together make up a right angle. Remember that this is called a complementary. These are called complementary angles. Okay, and they are 2 angles that make up a right angle. Okay, now I am going to name the points of this angle so I can get started. Hold on. Pick a different color. And I'm going to put a point right here. We always have, remember, this point of intersection. And these are all of my points, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and assign a letter to each of these points. This is going to be letter E, F, G, and H, okay? And I'm going to name this angle 1, and this is going to be angle 2, okay? So complementary angles, remember there are 2 angles that make up a right angle, and a right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. So in this case, I can say that angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees, okay? Because all my right angles are equal to 90 degrees, okay? So if I know the value of one angle, let's say that angle 1 is equal to 60 degrees, but I don't know the value of angle 2, okay? So what I can do is I can use this formula right here to substitute my values, and I can find my value for angle 2. Okay, so right here I know that angle 1 is 60 degrees, so I would write 60 degrees plus angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, what I do now is I'm going to subtract 60 degrees from 90, and that is going to give me the value of angle 2. Okay, so angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees minus 60 degrees. Therefore, angle 2 is equal to 90 minus 60, 30 degrees. Okay, I can double check this by plugging in my numbers here in the original equation, which is angle 1, we said that it is 60 degrees, plus I just found that angle 2 is 30 degrees, so 60 degrees plus 30 degrees is equal to 90. So I know this is correct. Okay, so whenever you're given a value of one of the angles, you can find the other measure if with complementary angles by subtracting the value of the original one from 90 degrees. Okay, let's try another example. Okay, we have this other example here where we have two complementary angles. They add up to 90 degrees, remember. We have one angle that is 25 degrees and another angle that is unknown. It is x degrees. Okay, so remember that we can write it in a formula because these two complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So we can say that 25 degrees plus x degrees is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get x by itself. So I'm going to pass the 25 over to the other side and subtract. Okay, so x degrees is equal to 90 degrees minus 25 degrees, and 90 minus 25 is 65, so x degrees is equal to 65 degrees. Okay, if we add, so this would be, my answer for x would be 65 degrees. Okay, and I know this is true because if I add 25 plus 65, I get 90. Okay, next we're going to deal with supplementary angles. Okay, and these are two angles that make up a straight angle. Remember that a straight angle is pretty much just a straight line. Okay, in this case, I have a straight angle here, and then I have a ray coming out of the intersection. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw out my points here like I did in the previous ones. My point there at the intersection. So I know my angles. And let's see, this is gonna be point P, Q, R, and this is gonna be S. Okay, so I'm gonna name this angle 5. Oh, well, this is one angle and this is another one. Okay, and if we add these two angles, if this is angle 5 and this is angle 6, we can say that angle 5 plus angle 6 is equal to 180 degrees because a straight angle adds up to 180 degrees. Okay, therefore